Spaß.
Ahoy, crypto pirate! Welcome to your Discourse Syndicates FN Hangout. I am the captain, your captain, RG3, bringing you another Friday night. Nonstop. Always been here, never gone away, never fair weathered. Didn't have to come back and talk shit to people who did stay around. Be the guy that left. And come in screaming and crying about everybody else because you feel inadequate because you were hiding while the war was going on. It's okay. It's okay. RG will take it. You guys go ahead and talk shit. I'll just be the guy who is still here while you pussied out. All right? Anyway, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming. It's Friday night. It's the Friday Night Hangout. The place where the Hexican was born. This is where it was born. This is the womb. This is the womb of Hexico. Discourse Syndicates FN Hangout is where the Hexicans were born. Like it or not, like me or not, this is where it came from. Let me say hello to the chat room. That's because that's what we do, right? That's what we do. Oh, look at that hair. Ooh, RG's hair is back, tied back. How's that, huh? Long, getting long. I'm going to grow my Samson hair out again. Anyway, let's say hello to everybody. Melv Tony, thank you for your service, sir. Moonmud, what's up? Good to have you here with us. Tam, thank you for supporting. Oh, you like the intro? Yeah, I play that every now and then so people know who Nils is. Nils is the one who I got the music from, and he's graciously let us continue to keep it with no strikes or anything like that. So if you want to go see some more stuff like that, plus he does like the no copyrights. What do they call that stuff? No copyright stuff. Anyway, I forget the name of it, but too much stuff to keep remembering. Too few brain cells left to hold information. But anyway, he does video game content. He runs his guitar riffs over the top of like video game music, which is also copyright free. So he does that, and he made this really badass Pirate Fortress song, and we've played it here from day one because I just freaking loved his work. Kid can play the freaking fire stick there, bangs on the axe. But anyway, thank you, Tam. That's what the intro is, and go check out Nils on his YouTube channel. He's got a bunch of stuff in there. Quinn, what's happening? Sandy Beach, my lady. Look, it's like all of the ladies of Hexico are showing up, and I think we've even got SJ in there jumping in. Yep, SJ appears. She's also in the green room, hanging out, making sure that nothing goes wrong. Keeps the leaks out of the ship. Oh yeah, and she's getting ready to head out. Look at, she's flying on a jet plane out to Europe to go gallivant and play with all the Hexicans. So much love and respect and appreciation for you. Thank you, Tam. I appreciate that. I really, really do. I'll be out west this summer. Cool, Sandy. Hit us up. We'll get a meetups put together here in your honor. We'll get one. Maybe we can even go over to Hexotic Rentals and have a party at his place. I'd like to do that. He's got a really nice, basically like a Hexican freaking man cave / party palace with supercars and everything else, you name it. It's very, very cool. So anyway, back to my rant and letting you guys know what was going on here. Gosh, the heat in the kitchen is hot. Bottom signals are in. All of the founders have made coins on PulseChain. Good, bad, or indifferent. I better turn this off because I know SJ's going to be banging the heck out of me. Oh, thank you. She's putting the notes down, things that I'm missing. A royalty free is what's called when you have a no copyright music. Royalty free, and that's what Nils's music is, royalty free. Okay, and let's talk about first, before we get the show started, the tour and whatever. Why is everybody going to Europe from here right now? Because we're all getting ready for the big party in London for the PulseChain tour. So if you don't have tickets, or you're not, or if you're in that area, or you're in Europe close by, be sure to come check out PulseChainTour.com and come hang out with us in London. It's going to be a heck of a party, a good time. It'll be basically the end of the tour until we go to the hearing for Richard. So want to get to that party there in London. So check it out, PulseChainTour.com. Okay, so if you don't know, this is she's even putting the messages in 2 different places. That's so great. Oh yeah, let's talk about something else we have going on in PulseChain Tour. What's the dates for that, SJ? We've got on September 29th, we have a cruise from Galveston all the way to central Mexico. We have our cruise in Europe, which is going to take us from Venice to Greece. But we got another one coming up in September. That's before the event, for the October event. And, we'll do presentation on the ship. And then lots and lots of partying and hanging out and doing stuff with the Hexicans. And that'll be from Galveston, all the way Texas, all the way to Central America. And I think it's Honduras and Belize. Sorry, it's not Mexico. It's Central America, Honduras and Belize. And it's okay because I didn't catch it either. So anyway, that's coming up. Go get to PulseChainTour.com. We'd love to have you out on a cruise. If you've never been on a Hexican cruise, lots of fun. Now, again, I know when I say stuff like this, oh God, I get shit from, look, guys, look, I know not everybody's doing great right now. I know not everybody is, rolling in the dough. Not everybody was lucky enough, wise enough, smart enough, prepared enough for this long, elongated bear market. And trust me, it hit everybody. Some of you got hit harder. Some of you got hit softer. Some of you guys figured out the bear market game. Some of you didn't. But look, there's no reason for everybody to get sour grapes because of your own lot in this crypto space. You've been warned. This shit goes up as fast as it goes down. And it went down. And then just when you think there's maximum pain, stand by for some more. And then when you think get your maximum pain's over, you got a little bit more coming. And then you might get to hold a record bear market and get a little more pain. How about another 90% down? Trust me, it cut deep on everybody, not just the people that weren't prepared or whatever. Oh, look, you see my grays coming out too. Goodness gracious. The old man's showing his gray. Anyway, you know what? Alan's been pushing for some for Dorji's spot in the band or the timeout box. I think that's right. Tell him about the Great Depression, sir. Hats off to you for living through it. Oh, okay. That's the Hexican Great Depression, not the real Great Depression, right? Anyway, So yeah, this was, man. This was like the Great Depression. We went through a real big depression here in crypto, and especially in the Hexican community, because we got cut deep. We got cut deep. So, oh, I like that. Look what Sandy said. Gray hair is distinguished. Is that what they call it now? Old and ugly is distinguished. I like that. I like that analogy. I'll use it. Distinguished, not old and ugly, but distinguished. Cantankerous too, right? Yes. Of course. Yes, of course. You're not that old. It's a hex expression. Yeah, I get it. I get it now. So let's talk about that a little bit. So during this Great Depression, the Great Hexpression, I wanted to be there. I didn't know it was going to be this long or this difficult or get this crazy, like crazy. I mean, like even my own bros, like bros that like I broke bread with, I came up in this thing with, like I supported them. I never spoke ill of them, like coming at me for things that I've done or failed in or succeeded in or wow. Wow. I never said anything ill about those fellas. And they got to come and poke at the old bear. Wow, guys. Wow. It's me. It's still me. It's a Cap. I didn't do anything. I didn't go nowhere. I didn't hide. I didn't cower in the corner and piss myself like some of you. I know you're scared. I know you were scared and you had to go away because you couldn't take the heat. But I was there. I had your back, man. I had your back. So I was going to keep everything going and warm and welcoming when you came back. Didn't talk shit. And then you come back and the first thing you do is you guys want to talk shit about me, the guy who stayed, who keeps standing in front of the freaking bullets for you, standing on the wall for you while you guys are pissing yourselves in the corners. Wow. Wow. So anyway, I still love my bros. They can meme me. They can beat on me because it ain't going to hurt because I'm still pulling you guys up the hill. We got a hill to take. I'm glad to have you all back. Get back out here. Let's go. Bull market's coming. Never know when it's going to hit. We are going to be ready to go when it does because RG kept the bullets warm for you while you were gone. All right. Remember, folks, this is your show. This is we got some conversation going. This is your show. This is where you come hang out, come chat. Ladies, we got a bunch of ladies in there. You guys can come on the show too. It just doesn't have to be the men. You guys can click on the link and come in and hang out with us. There it is. Look, SJ threw it up for you. But this is your show. You can come on in. We don't have anybody in the green room yet. And I'm going to sit here and just talk to myself, tell you guys about what's been going on in my life because there ain't nothing exciting to talk about, to be honest. You know, if I talk about anything I've done, then I might get memed or they might get mad at me because I'm trying to build things in Richard Hart's ecosystem. So I should be quiet about the things that I'm doing, right? Oh my goodness gracious. The hypocrisy, the immaturity, the lack of leadership skills, the lack of character in this space, the lack of character in these younger generations, to be honest, really, really concerns me. Really concerns me. You guys, the way you interact with people and the respect that you give to people, the things that you try and tap into versus, I mean, the superiority complex that some of you have just because you may know a little code or understand how to send a social meme out or something like that is really freaking kind of hilarious. Like, I'd really like to see what some of you have done in real life. Some of the things that you've had to endure, some of the things that you've had to go through, some of the things you've had to navigate. It's funny. I came to this space, the older guy, and man, I wanted to learn from you all. And I did. I tapped in and I learned, and you guys taught me, and I haven't learned everything, but I've done pretty good. I don't know too many people, my age that embrace this space and have done the things that I've been able to do. And it's because of all of you. It's because of you guys that get this, like we're grown up and born with a computer in your hands and stuff, and born with a cell phone in your hand, so I knew what I needed to do, and that was to tap into your guys' experience and knowledge and the things that you did. But what I found out is that a lot of the things that I had were valueless to you guys. And I'm sorry, that's not how life works. I also tapped into the older folks and learned from their mistakes and learned how to live life through some of my mentors that came before me. For me, it's a cultural thing, because in my culture, we have a lot of respect for our elders. Like, the elders are, you just don't meme an elder. You just don't disrespect an elder, whether they're doing the right thing or not. You just don't do that stuff, and so I don't understand, I don't understand people who don't have respect for that, or understanding for that, or a need or a want or desire to tap into wisdom. Kind of perplexes me. Anyway, I see there's a question here. Let me grab this. Hickey says, RG3, was it hard for you guys when Hex first started, or is this aftermath worse? My goodness. How do I answer that? So it was a different kind, brother. It was different, man. It was, it was us against the world at that point in time. All my bros, all the streamers, we came together on Friday nights. We came together on their streams. We came together when Richard streamed, and we came together when he would get hammered on Twitter by somebody outside, Bitcoin maxis or whatever. And we lifted each other up, and we protected Richard's tenants and Richard's projects and what he did. And we tried to educate people on what they were. That was a different time. There was a camaraderie. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, we got heat. Yeah, things happened. The same kind of, stupid people would come try and dox you or death threat you or this kind of crap, but you always had everybody around you, and then things changed, where it was not just, your family and outside forces, the SEC and the maxis. It was the community itself started coming at you. And I get it, why some of the guys left or went away or took a hiatus or, cowered in the corner, whatever it was that they did. I don't know. It was getting to where the support was dwindling and going away. Like right now, I have more Hexicans. It appears there are more Hexicans, out for my blood than they are out for my value, and that's just a sign of the times, I guess. This bear market turned everybody into, people with issues. So anyway, yeah, man, it was hard. And it's a different kind of hard now, and now it's like we're fighting with our own. And that's the most difficult thing for me, because the one thing that I got is, and to my dismay sometimes, is a big heart. And I have a heart for this community. And, like me or not, that's who I am. That's just who I am. And I'm not going to give excuses or apologize for who I am and what I do. Not going to do that. I am an entrepreneur, and I've always been upfront with that. And that's my right. That's my right to be an entrepreneur in this space. I can build and do whatever I want here. You don't have to like it. And if you don't like it, that's fine. That's on you. I'm not telling anybody to buy my shit. I'm not telling anybody to do anything that I do. My community interaction here has always been for free, to help, to be part of. And even my entrepreneurialism in this space has been to bring better products, better things, better services to the Hexican community or outside. And not everything has worked out. In fact, none of it's worked out for me financially when it comes down to it. You know, I've done great in crypto because I've learned a lot from you guys on how to provide liquidity, how to get into how to look at good projects that are coming out and different types of market cycles and whatnot. But I'll tell you, my businesses, I'm not going to say I've been 100% successful, but here's the thing I know about business and entrepreneurialism. And you don't quit. When you fail forward, you learn, you discover. This is a new space. Richard Hart has created even a newer space with PulseChain. So that's why I've always told everybody, hey, give everybody the grace to go out and build something. Now, because it's a new space, because these are new products, because it's full of scammers, don't fucking get involved with them. Don't risk your money on these things. Watch them. Watch what Scooter does. Watch him fly. And then if you think it's something good and viable, then get in. Most people just, no, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. What if it goes up? What if it goes up? I don't want to miss it, so I'm going to get in. And then if I lose, I'm going to shit talk it. Or if I lose somewhere else and something new comes out, I'm going to shit talk that because anything new is bad. You know? So there's a big catch-22 here. And there's a big catch-22 of doing these things and being public facing. But I was the guy that could handle the heat. Why? Because I know how to have discourse with people. Man, I just had a really great one just the other day with somebody who's in the chat room. Crypto Wonder, welcome to the chat. Thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate you being here. Crypto Wonder has an awesome podcast. If you haven't seen it, go to Crypto Wonder Podcast on YouTube. And he's one of the more rational voices, the more challenging voices of the Hexican community, the Pulse community, crypto in general. You know, I'm not gonna put a label on him because he's out there trying to fight the good fight and talking to people who are new or people who can't afford to get wrecked or have been wrecked. And he's trying to, you know, talk some sense into them, trying to warn them about these things that are going on. Well, I heard him. I listen to his podcast all the time because, first of all, his voice is soothing and he has a very calm demeanor and a very rational demeanor about himself. And he leans hard on other projects coming into the space and leaders in this space, and he holds their feet to the fire. And a few times, you know, he's been critical of me, extremely critical of me. But he's made me think and listen to myself and made me question myself. You know, am I operating with integrity here, or did I miss something there? And a lot of times he's been pretty dead on right about some things. There were some things that he was inaccurate about, and I wanted to make sure that he got that straightened out. So I went on his show, went in his chat room and said, hey, you're inaccurate about this and that. And he said, hey, come on my show, then let's talk about it. And we did. And it was a very cool conversation. So if you can go check out, we had a conversation just the other day, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. And it was great. And then afterwards we went into the green room and had a nice long conversation. And what a pillar in our community we have. So if you guys don't watch his show yet, go to Crypto Wonders podcast and check it out. He's a rational voice in this community. So anyway, thanks for being here, buddy. Alan, you're not wrong, Captain. I actually applaud most older and wiser people in the ecosystem. I learn a lot. Elder respect is something most of us learned growing up, uncommon in today's world. Yeah. But that's our fault for not teaching people. And Yeah, you guys, and I think that the way that we need to teach our youth about this is you are as valuable to me as I am to you. And you need to see that. And I don't think that we see that anymore. My elders are very, very important to me. I still, by the grace of, I have a 96-year-old grandfather who's still alive. I got to see him last night and hang out with him. So, holding on to that and hearing people who've been through the Great Depression and the trials that they've been through over 96 years of their life, important. Like he's this frail old man, like I have to pick up when he falls down and stuff. But he was a Marine in World War II. And I mean, just, the stuff that man has been through and the information he has in his head. I mean, he's almost like an infant child now at his age, but just there's still so much value in them. But we have to reciprocate. We have to tell the youth that they're important to us too, because you guys are so smart. You guys understand this world and you guys are taking it in a new direction. And we as elders should be willing to help guide, and we should also be willing to learn from you. And I'm learned so much from our youth in these days, and even my own kids, how smart they are. I can't believe how freaking smart they are. Let's see. This is the worst. Yes. Attacks are from within, not only from without. The complete mutiny. Gotta love it. Yeah, it was. Heike says, Roger that. My OP, you've been a real, in my opinion, you've been a real OG, a virtual mentor to me also. Also fellow brother, Simplify. Oh man, what's up, Devil Dog? There. What did it go down? Simplify, man. You know, man. Something about Marines. We're all brothers. We're all brothers. Let's see. I don't know. Crypto King is probably the strongest Hexican I know. He is locked it, but more like Crypto King. Yeah. Crypto King is another unique human being. Let's see. I've seen it all. Mel Tony says, I've seen it all since just before big payday. It has been brutal. Trust me. It's been posting prices over the year. Yeah. Yeah. Melv knows every inch of the way. He's been tracking it and posting it here in our chat rooms and every other chat room out there. Hats off everybody to Melv Tone. If you don't know, he gives us the numbers in the chat room. It's so nice to see it, while we're sitting there. Wow. It hasn't been nice in the last 3 years, but yeah. Thanks for your support, not only with my channel, but all the rest of the Hexicans that are out there. Did you have a experience with radio? That's yes, Cause D. I did actually have experience with radio. I worked at a radio station here in California called K-Rock, and back in the 90s and early 90s, like just past the 80s. And it was a true still radio station back then. We had carts and they still spun albums, and there were still DJs, and there wasn't all this weird shit that they have today. I was a promotions guy. I worked for a morning show called Kevin and Bean. I was their morning show co-producer, producer at times and whatnot. Literally their show prep was done. I'd get there at, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd get the newspapers. I'd get the chase events. I had a bunch of pieces of information, like real information, like not off the computer. Right. And I'd literally go and photocopy as much cool information about that day that I could, current events and all that. Print out the stuff that we saw fax machines there, print out the stuff that they had for guests that day or whatever, do 2 copies, make sure that each one of the guys had it, and get all that prepped in the morning. And then boom, I was off to, helping them make promotion stuff and carts for commercials and all kinds of shit. So yeah, I do have a radio history, in real radio, and K-Rock was one of the biggest radio stations in Southern California. And, all those old disc jockeys, even Louis Largent, who went to MTV, Trip Reeb, who went to MTV, he was the president of K-Rock at the time. Who else? Jed DeFish, Richard Blade, all those guys, old friends, Rodney on the Rock, old friend. Yeah, it was K-Rock was my kind of my Hollywood start, whatever. And I did some other shit too, but we won't even talk about that. Let's see who else. Crypto One, can't wait to see you come together with Soil, SOYL. Can't wait to see you come together with Soil. I don't know what that is. Soil loves you, bro. Help me with my brain. My brain's not picking that up. Oh, wait a minute. I do. Wait a second. I do. The plants thing. Yeah, the guy with the towers, right? He had the yeah, I know what it is now. That's right. Sorry. The names and stuff. And yeah, I dig you guys too, man. Let's see. It's all unpredictable. By the way, Soil, sorry, bro. For some reason that name didn't click to me, but they are PulseChain Tour sponsors, guys. They're PulseChain Tour sponsors. Well, I really goofed that one up. Let me see if I can rewind that. How's that for radio freaking talking shit about how badass a radio person I was, right? No, he's not soft shilling. He's actually you'll see what he's got. Yes, Crypto Wonder does slay on his podcast. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Can you talk about MEXC listing on PulseChain? Yes, I can. So let me clear this one up too a little bit, because this is another one of those things that RG's got to deal with in the background. So I went to Atlanta and met some very interesting unknown Hexicans from a place called the Atlanta Blockchain Center. Literally a center in the middle of the community there, literally in the middle of the community. Grassroots organization, like an old building that they had converted into a tech center. And they incubate crypto projects there, and they do it for PulseChain. And a guy by the name of Marlon Williams, who runs the thing, gave us a space to do the PulseChain tour. So we went in there and did the PulseChain tour, and it was all very, very cool. Just dug what he was doing. It was physical in real life. People coming together, programming. This is where the Project Pi guys come from. If you don't know Project Pi, they're the ones that are doing the liquid staking, building nodes and validators off of Raspberry Pis, and doing all this cool stuff so that you can validate without having to have 32 million pulse and all that. So check them out, Project Pi. So they were part of the incubation there with Marlon. Well, Marlon was telling me, hey, I'm going to start this PulseChain Foundation. Well, he didn't say start. He said he'd already started it. And this is what they're going to be doing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, very cool, very cool. And he offered me if I'd like to, maybe sit on his board and stuff. And they had already had their board set up. They had a few more seats. And I declined and said, no, it's not my thing. I need to be able to do what I do. You guys can't go do your suit and tie stuff with a guy that wears a bandana and talks shit on the internet. So, you guys go do you and I'll get behind you. And then come to find out when I get back and they start talking about it, there's another PulseChain Foundation through Identity Block. And Identity Block was claiming he was a foundation. They said, we're doing our thing and he's doing his thing. And now they're fighting in the middle of it. I'm not part of either one. In fact, I've tried to give each of them equal time to go ahead and do their thing out here. We don't need just one foundation. We have 2, 10, who cares? So they have their beef with one another or whatever. I don't think it really is beef. I think that they just need to come together and do their thing. But I'm not part of it. I've just promoted and helped and give people a voice here to everything. And again, my disclaimer has always been, do your own research. These are the things that are going on out here. This is where we have discourse. Discourse means having a conversation with people you like, people you don't like, people that you think are bullshitting, people you think that aren't. This is what you do. It's called discourse. You don't have to go out and try and put sticks in each other's eyes all the time. And everybody should be smart enough to take care of themselves, or at least be in a group of people that can explain things to you that you don't want to get involved in. So anyway, the foundation for the MEXC listing, that was one of their directives, was to get PulseChain on centralized exchanges. Now, that's an issue for some people. Some people, they only want to be decentralized and part of the decentralized finance world. But let's face it, when you want to cash out, you got to have a place to move your money through. So that's where the value in MXC is that it gives you another place to on-ramp and off-ramp your crypto value from fiat to crypto, crypto to fiat. Now, one of the things that I missed, and this is one of the things that Crypto Wonder pointed out the other day when I was mentioning this and how important that is that, you know, I take it for granted that, you know, everybody understands and does the things that I do to protect myself. And sometimes I don't speak about those things out of complacency, not because I'm hiding anything or don't want to tell you guys. But we don't leave our crypto on centralized exchanges. We only use them for on-ramping and off-ramping. And when I sit down with a new user, a no coiner, and I'm onboarding them, I explain that to them. I said, look, this is your pass-through. Your wallet is really where you want to hold your crypto. And your bank and your Coinbase or your Gemini or your MEXC or whatever is connected to each other, where you can move fiat from and to and from your from the crypto world to the fiat world, from fiat world to crypto world. And then you get that shit off the exchange. It never sits on the exchange. It's too dangerous to sit on exchanges. Why? Because exchanges scam out. And I've had transactions get stuck in the middle on its way through. And I'm a guy that just goes in and out. I don't stay on them. And I lost value one time in the middle of a transaction where they shut the whole system down. What dumb luck is that? I eventually got my money back, but my crypto, but it took 3 months and freaking working through, you know, secretaries of and treasurers of freaking states to get it done. So anyway, yeah, dangerous, but necessary at this point. Until the world takes crypto, that's how we got to deal with it. So crypto realm, love the show and love that you have Soil coming to Amsterdam. Finally, real tech on PulseChain. Appreciate the $5, man. Right on, right on. Yep. Amsterdam. Get to Amsterdam, folks. That's the other stop out there. It's on the PulseChain tour. That's going to be a party. Now, I don't get to be there. You know, the family, I can't be gone that long. So anyway, let's see what else have we got in here. But yeah, get to that. That's going to be a heck of a party. I know a lot of Americans looking forward to getting to Amsterdam. Let's see. Oh, that's a good one. Let's see if somebody has an answer to this question. Anyone know where we can see how much money is being bridged into PulseChain? Used to be easy when we had one bridge. Maybe somebody's got an answer for that. Let's see. Quinn says, my dad worked for a radio station called K-Rock in the early 90s, but it was an SLC. Yeah, they started using the name. So the original was in Los Angeles, and then they started spreading the name around because Infinity Broadcasting ended up buying K-Rock. And now K-Rock is like, you know, freaking global, whatever, conglomerate, I think headquartered out of New York now. But it went from Infinity to what's the biggie? Gosh, the big entertainment company. It owns all of them. Somebody will say it. Everybody's in on. But yeah, that's what's going on. Props to Captain for knowing lots of things. Comes off as a genius sometimes, and then he starts making X price predictions. Yeah, Clear Channel. That's it. Clear Channel. Good job, SJ. Good job. Clear Channel. That's the one. That's the one who owns it now. Show it to his captain might as well. Oh no. Crypto Realm says K-Rock was the shit. Yeah, it was. Hey, and in the real days, it was the shit. Like when it was a real radio station, when they had Drugola and all that stuff going on. If you want to look at the history of K-Rock and when RG was there back in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a little incident that happened where the main guy at the radio station is the oh gosh, what do they call him? He is the content. No, not the content. Anyway, he's the guy that puts music on the radio. And that guy always had, I probably shouldn't be saying some of this stuff, but the door would open. A program director. They're called a program director. And the program director had a room with like stacks of albums. And then it started turning into CDs at that time, but it was albums mostly. I've got so many badass albums from him. One of the, I'm not even going to name them. One of them, because he went on to do bigger things, really big things. But he was a program director there. And like the smoking ass hot of the smoking ass hottest girls from the record companies would come in with handfuls of stuff in their bag and go into his office, close the door, and they'd be in there for hours. And then he's the guy who put the music on the radio. And they got in trouble for, there was this thing called drugola. So it was cocaine for playing music, and the radio station got busted, and everybody ended up on, in drug rehab and all that kind of stuff with probations and everything else. And the radio station was taxed. But yeah, that's ancient history, but that's how things used to happen. Anyway, yeah, see what's up? Everybody, Drac from Tang Talk Wireless was in here. Check him out. He's going to be heading to Europe with us and going on the cruise. It's going to be a badass time. Let's see. Unfortunately, you can't use MEX without a VPN in the US. Yeah, it's not going to be for everybody. It's just a small. It's a small. Not a small. It is. It's not going to be for everybody. Let's just say that. Let's see. Who's this? I was in the hospital for most of the trip. Got jumped by a bunch of kids. Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, not sure. All right. So look, we're losing most everybody here. Where are we at? So again, anybody want to come join, you can come hang out with us. And I'm not going to do price predictions, but let's look at Pulse. Pulse is at 0.0004639. And just turn the 3 to 369. Maybe we have some luck there. Pulse X is 0.00019. But you know what? Okay. SJ is worn out. She's going to go to sleep. Bye, SJ. I got it now. And I won't insult any of our sponsors or any of that. Okay. You good? She's like literally in the green room like this, like she's beat tired. So yes, go get yourself some rest, because she's got to get up bright and early in the morning and get out of here. Right. So anyway, yeah. And if you don't want to come on, let's see, what else can we talk about? So we're not going to talk price action. Gosh, we are definitely at the bottom of the bottom. Price action's down. We're eating our own. Everybody's mad. Nobody likes the captain, except for those of you loyal viewers, listeners, people that support. Appreciate you. You guys make it all worth it. You make it all worth it. But other than, that being the sentiment, and bottom signal after bottom signal after bottom, it's like, how many more bottom signals do we need before we know we're here? I know there's a lot of people out there that are, speaking facts and truth to power and all that stuff about the ecosystem and, when is it going to move? But I mean, look, let's face it. What moves markets? What moves markets is people, financial energy moving in and out of the markets, in and out, in and out. When they start to stagnate, that's when you get this. When too many people move out and it stagnates, this is what you get. There needs pump priming. Now, hard thing is that people who are living off their crypto, or people who are cashing out, or people who have cashed out, aren't putting more value in. And a lot of the people that are putting value in are like diehards that are, DCAing in micro pennies, to come in and get themselves a position at the bottom here. Good on you. So So that pump hasn't been primed yet. So the people aren't pushing the button yet. And we know what happens when that does happen. Once the button gets pushed, yeah, look, ink's holding real nice at 240. Once the button gets pushed and starts moving forward and people start getting active, that's when the system fires back up. That's when things start pumping, and that's when we start bringing financial energy in. And I know that the crypto ecosystem is getting that priming happening. I know that, look, there's been tokens that have pumped during the bear market. And that's from sheer excitement, from people being around, just moving value around. We saw that with the token that my team launched, and it was about excitement and people wanting to be involved, and people looking at tech, people looking at memes, and pushing the button. That's basically it. And then some of these communities got smart and understood marketing and understood how to get people excited and fired up about the things that they were doing and their narratives. And they got people push the button on this one for a while. And then they had to move over to another token, get people to push the button on that one for a while, and then move over and get another push button. That's all it is. It's just financial energy being moved around. And does that help us as an ecosystem? Somewhat. Might create some whales, some benevolent ones, might create some people that are going to dump. I don't know. But it's just part of the game. It's part of the system. And if you don't understand that, then you should, because it's part of our market cycle. It's part of the market cycle. We have people coming in and out of tokens that to some may seem useless, may seem absolutely useless. It's like, why is that pumping? But look at what Doge did. Look what SHIB did. Look what these memes did. Look what the freaking NFTs did early on. Look what CryptoKitties did. All of those things, and I hear some of the bigger streamers out there saying, you guys don't get it. Doesn't fucking matter about use case. Doesn't matter. All that matters is people that want to push that button. And if there's enough community behind it, marketing behind it, word of mouth advertising behind it, then it's quite possible to pump anything. I mean, we've seen that. Anything can pump. Anything can pump. We know that. Like, I wanted to make a token. I got so funny about it. I was like, I want to make a meme token called Shit with Shit. I wanted shit with shit on the back of it. And let's just put that out there and see how well it does. My guess is it would have done pretty well at that time, because everything's been pumping. So, but it was just it was a joke. It was a quick narrative. So somebody will probably make that one tomorrow. But Shit with Shit, I thought would be a great meme token. But when all this matters again, and on-ramping and off-ramping becomes easier, when managing your crypto wallets become easier, when people can have some privacy. I hear, on top of the barrier to entry, people think maybe that, I had an onboard was like, hey, nobody, knows about my crypto and this, and I'm anti-government and I'm this, and I love that. And I said, au contraire, my friend, let me tell you what's really going on here. You don't get it. You think that you're poking the government in the eye. You think that you're not being looked at. But I'll tell you what, you have less now than ever before. It's oh my goodness. The way the wallets are set up now, the privacy is just it's getting worse, to be honest. Like, and with all the tools we have that you can plug addresses into and all that, it's getting worse. Like you can't, it's crypto is a speculative asset. It is non-functional at this point. Anything that makes number go up is what's important in crypto, not any of the use cases. Forget commerce, because there ain't nobody on the planet that does real commerce that's going to want everybody in the world as soon as they send them something, to see their wallet inside of it, what it's touched, who it's interacted with for the history of its life. Nobody in the professional world wants that shit. Who in the hell would want their finances to be open to every customer, every employee, every vendor? Everything that they touch with that wallet gets to look at it, watch it, stare at it, see where it's been. It's horrendous. Nobody wants to do business that way. So when I hear Bitcoiners talking about, oh yeah, you can make a transaction in here and it's like, you idiots. Nobody gives a shit about commerce on your Bitcoin. Nobody. Nobody. Those narratives are dead. There is no privacy in crypto. It's worse than cash. It is worse than cash. For the governments and all of them, it's better than cash because they can monitor everything. So anyway, that whole thing is those narratives are just garbage. Yellowtail. Hey, yeah, yellowtail. Love me some yellow. I just had some the other day. I went fishing and caught me a nice big yellowtail. And I love grilling that stuff and butter, lemons, and rosemary. Put that in some tacos. Really good, low calorie too. Let's see. Good news is tomorrow is June, passing the month of May. Yes, summertime and living's easy. I was in my pool all day today with my 8-year-old and all his boys. They got out of school early, so I get to go hang out in the pool with them, chill. And we're ringing into summer here in California finally. It's been cold, man. It's been just wicked. Charlie Marr says, we went from the greatest crypto hex to memes. How do I answer that? A lot of truth in that, Charlie. A lot of truth. But there's two things going on here. Hex didn't necessarily go up because of, hold on one second. Yes, son. Yeah, sure. You can have your VR. Hold on, guys. It's very important. I have to go ahead. Come on. There you go. Close the door for me. Live streaming, baby. Live streaming. So there's two things going on here, Charlie. We've got real DeFi being built. We've got Hex, the greatest DeFi crypto to ever enter the space. My opinion, the greatest crypto. You probably don't say that enough, but people do. I get shit for saying it. I get shit for not saying it. I get shit for having it tagged on my Twitter. I get shit for if I wouldn't have it. If I took it off, I'd get shit for that. If I have it, I get shit for that. It's like, good Lord, man, you guys are absolutely nuts around here. So we have this DeFi, save the world, fix finance technology in our hands. But adoption requires marketing. Marketing is word of mouth, and groups of people getting together and getting behind a project. Now, just because a product has product market fit and use case and all that kind of shit doesn't mean that you can get everybody rally behind it. We saw that with Hex. Yes, some did and saw it, and some very wealthy people did and saw it and got in, aped in, and made Hex move. And a lot of us who saw it got in and made Hex move. But let's face it, most of crypto didn't. Most of the world didn't. People I told, a lot of them, it didn't matter to them until they saw it move up to 50 cents. So they saw RG's life change. They saw what he had did and what happened, and they wanted into, not because of Hex, what Hex was. See, they didn't respect me or my opinion. They respected the money. Remember that one, guys. People don't respect the person, they respect the wealth on wealthy people. So you've got to go out and earn that on top of it. I've learned that. You know, people will come at you from all over and try and sweet talk you and get you to help them with their thing and this thing and that thing. I don't give a fuck about you. I want your money. They respect that money. So that's what we have going on here. Is a lack of respect for what's really out here, which is true DeFi, which can change the world, which is what I'm out there screaming about on my PulseChain tour that gets so much criticism as being worthless and useless. I still believe in integrity and the tenets of what Richard Hart has taught us, and that matters, and that what he built mattered. And that doesn't make number go up, unfortunately. I'd like to say it does, but it doesn't. And we know that. We've seen it. We've all watched it firsthand. So those of us staring at the gem of Hex and DeFi and PulseChain and what Richard had done, the guy who has changed crypto forever, our mentor in crypto, that guy. We sit here and stare at this, but we watch things that are jokes move beyond it and blow it out, blow its doors off, in fact. And it feels like a travesty, but it's not. It's this space. It is this space. This space has been screwy from its inception. It's lucrative. It's life-changing one way or the other. It could wreck you. It could wreck you just as easy as it can set you. I've seen more wretches than setches. I have a lot of setches friends, but I have a lot more wretches. Now, remember this also, you only get wrecked if you sell. And market cycles do change. And more things move up in the bull than go down. Charlie says something that I don't understand. Yes, lack of respect, right, Charlie? Yeah. Fishing with Camo Joe. Hey, let's go fishing, Camo Joe. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for another trip. I'm not going to get to go on another trip until like September, right before we go to New York. I want to go get on that boat again, go down to Mexico, and man, I love fishing for those tuna. Man, what a good time. What a good time that is. Anyway, yes, integrity. Integrity. Do you know what that means, folks? Do you know what that means? That means doing something right when nobody else is looking. That's really what it is. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking. You're doing the right thing. That's one of the hardest things to give up is your integrity. It just destroys you from the inside out. It's like poison. The AA screwed Hex from organic growth. I'd like to kind of understand your take on that. I thought, and RH himself, of course. Hey, what's up, Unplugged Dad? Good evening. Blood in, blood out. Yeah, bro. Blood in, blood out. Oh, what a great movie. If you haven't seen it. Hey, I just got a message from my buddy Drac. Hey, Drac, man, anytime this is open to you too, man. Just grab the link. It's in the I'm going to actually post it in the chat room again. If you got time. I know you probably don't have time. It's hard for people to get away on a Friday night, especially the people that have families and stuff, you know, it's hard to get away, but yeah, man, it's there for if you want to come in and join me. We can have a great conversation in here with folks. So yeah, fire, Camo, fire. Man, we went out bluefin fishing. Man, so those bluefins are fun, but you know what, the yellowtails, those things fight even harder. But yeah, do some fishing. Jofus, no bottom signals left. I know, man. It's like we're inventing new bottom signals these days. Like, disappeared hex streamer comes and attacks hex streamer that is still here. Bottom signal. Hexologist starts streaming again. Bottom signal. You know, all kinds of stuff. How did the AA create problems for Hex organic growth 5 years after? Yeah, that's what I don't understand. I mean, maybe what he's getting at is the bags that were created. And here's the problem with all crypto launches, even fair launches, this happens. You get big bag holders in the beginning. Some of those big bag holders are benevolent. Some of those big bag holders are somewhat benevolent. Some of those big bag holders are not benevolent at all. And some of those big bag holders have ill intentions for that crypto and the money that's coming into it. And those big bag holders now have more avenues of attack or vectors of attack than they've had before, like with the ICO days and stuff. Now you literally have liquidity providing that can be a vector of attack from a big wallet. So there's all these externalities now that happen upon launch of a coin, where no matter it's fair launch or an AA lobby or whatever, you're going to get big bag holders in the beginning because that's when it's cheap, and some people understand that and they get in and they do what they're supposed to, or what the market is supposed to do, which is buy and create, excitement. And that's why you see these things go up so fast in the beginning. Everybody should know that by now. You should know that. Why do you keep getting wrecked by big numbers going up fast on these cryptos at launch, guys? Oh, my lady, Sandy Beach, goodbye. Thank you for support. Thank you. We'll see you. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. So that's another thing, like my good friend Crypto Wonder was saying. He said, hey, warn these people about this stuff. And here's another warning for you. These new cryptos that come out, yes, people get behind them, they rally. And here's the problem. Here's a big problem. And the only reason I can speak to this is because it's me. So I hear about a new thing coming out. And first my little antenna go up. Bing. Oh, there's something new. And then I hear the narrative, right? Oh, it's this. And then my degenerative freaking back alley, freaking under the bridge mind goes, man, gotta give me some of that. Gotta give me some of that. Oh, that's juicy. And I know there's a bunch of you out there just like me. And, I've created myself look, we all go to Vegas, right? Or we all gamble, or we all have a drink on the weekends or whatever. Not RG, because he didn't know how to do it. Then, adults should be able to adult. And if you want to degen, you should be able to degen. I don't take that away from anybody. But if you can't afford it and you're putting your rent money into these things with this degen activity, if you don't have you a little degen bag that you can afford to lose and play around with, then you need to stay out of that stuff, putting your rent money and mama's food money in there, because that's degenerative gambling and it's dangerous. Now, I see those things and I go, oh man, I want to get in that. And then I hear a little bit about it and I go, oh, that's kind of cool tech. But I never really look into it. I never really look into the founder. I never really look into what's going on there. I never really look into, okay, I'm going to watch the liquidity, watch this thing move and see what it does. And then I'm going to invest a little in it. No, I'm just going to go and with the limited amount of knowledge I have, I'm going to ape into that thing before it goes up too high, blah, 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 blah. So I think that's what a lot of people do. And a lot of people do that with too much value, with value that they can't afford to lose, and they lose it and then they get soured, or they get mad at people who have made it, things like that. So we got a lot of that going on. So don't get yourself into that cycle. Don't get stuck in that stuff. Don't get yourself wrecked by that. Right now, those of you at the bottom of this thing who are looking like that, what you should be looking at is the sure things, the things that are going to end up getting you value. Hex is still the best crypto asset out there. Like you buy Hex, you just bought yourself a miner. Like you could set up your own miner and make more Hex, period, end of story. Your Hex makes more Hex. You put it away. You don't need it anyway, right? If you're investing in something that's good, you're going to put it and stake it and you're going to get more Hex, period, end of story. Now, everything's up for grabs in the market, meaning everything is either going to rise or sink based on the market sentiment. So maybe your hex will do good, maybe it won't, but it's going to make more hex. None of this other stuff is going to make more of what you're doing, right? So that's why I say hex is the GOAT. Hex is the thing. Hex is the thing that can keep you safe. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to those rivers and streams, baby boys, baby girls. That's what hex is for you. What's up, Golkey? I got celebrities jumping in now. Golkey, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Let's see. Warren Buffett, the best chance to deploy capital is when things are going down. Tried and true belief, tried and true investment strategy. I've always said Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett were two of the smartest investors on the planet. Now they missed tech, they missed crypto, they missed those things, but they understood their time. You know, they understood what they were doing then. There's going to be those of us who become that in this market space, who put those time-tested strategies together with new technologies and understanding of today's markets. There are going to be people that do as well as Munger and Buffett did in these spaces. I want to try and be one of them, but you've got to look at all the facets of this thing. Fuck your maximalism, fuck your tribalism, you know, fuck your criticism, all your other isms out there. Be damned. I'm doing the right things out here. I've learned from Richard and those of you who have said smart things and made smart moves. I've learned. So some of you should. There's a lot out here. There's people who made money in the bear market, you know, and it wasn't from listening to people who were telling you, you know, you're being disrespectful to Richard Hart by doing other things. Richard Hart wasn't out here teaching people what to do during the bear market. People were out there making their way. Some of them were doing good things. Some of them were doing bad things. Some of them were making money. Some of them weren't. Some of them were talking to you about it. Some of us weren't. But that's, you know, that's up to you to go make your way in this space. Now, I've only ever given people a place to talk and talk to myself and just told you my perspective on things. It's up to you on who you listen to and who you follow and who you emulate, or who you, what's the saying that you end up, your net worth ends up equaling somewhere around the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around or listening to. Be careful about that. Be careful. What's happening, John? Hey, you're welcome. Whatever I've done, you're welcome. Nice to hear a thank you every now and then. Let's see. Rise or sink, but a boat with holes in it does what, brother man? Yeah, Jazz Downs. You know what it does. Plugging those leaks are what's important. And I think, you know, and that's what I like about, so the project that I got involved with, the dev on it, that's what he wanted to do, was plug up leaks. Like, he wanted to use DeFi to plug up leaks in launches, in buy and burns, and liquidity providing, all that stuff. He wanted to plug up the leaks because, you know, there were a lot of concepts that were deployed out there on cryptos that failed because of the leaks in their projects. And it was about plugging up those leaks. And that's what I like about Dev Giff and what he's done, is that he wants to plug up leaks. Now, time's going to be the test to see if he plugged all of the leaks or whatever. But yeah, that's what I like, is seeing people plug up the leaks. Peter Lynch, know what you own and know why you own it. Peter Lynch. Funny. Who believes the hardest? Oh, I think it's about conviction, you know? It's about conviction. Oh my goodness. I finally got somebody on a Friday night hangout to come in here. Everybody's afraid to come in. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Drac from the infamous Tang Talk wireless technology. What's happening, bud?
Hey man, I just saw your stream. I just come in to say hello right quick. I'm not really, into the charts and stuff. That's your territory. I'm learning, but just, just came
I
hey
don't
man.
do charts, man. I don't do charts. I don't do TA. I do macroeconomic talks. I
Yeah,
do it based on experience in markets, experience in life, experience in cycles, and then trying to step back and look at the crypto market in the same way, even though it's very difficult because of the volatility of crypto.
yeah,
To look at it even from a macro perspective, but we do have 12, 13 years under our belt, so there's some things that can be seen. I think there's still things that can't be seen and are still kind of outliers. But I'm old school, looking at Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger's strategies and what they've done and how they've built wealth. And this space is in desperate need of some rationality and some common sense and some old school tactics that it's I think kind of discarded without even understanding its value.
sure, man. Yeah, 100%. I tried doing the whole charts and investing, and I did that like 4 or 5 years ago. I lost a shitload of money, and then I made a couple bad investments and learned some lessons. And then for me, I was listening to you talk about trading, and I was thinking, I like learning it, but I had to learn that building and being creative is my way in. I had to realize I'm not good at trading. I'm just not. I'm not good at LPs. It's not my thing. So to get into crypto, to get into a position where I could have some finance to and learn and have the resources, I had to build and then build my community, which now includes, guys like yourself. And so I'm still learning the chart stuff, but I guess I'm just kind of adding in for those that maybe like me don't get the charts, don't get discouraged. You can actually get in other ways, right? Like if you can create and build, you'll get into the communities and you'll start learning. It might be a different learning path or curve, but I guess the charts still confuse me, but I like the build. I like to build and I like to be involved in it, and I like learning from you guys about the charts. But you still confuse me, RG. I'm still lost.
there's no uh, I don't look at the charts, and I don't talk about the charts. I do very little TA here at all, other than kind of Fibonacci retracement, which is just the golden ratio, which is just basically human emotions mixed up with math make number go up or down. That's basically what the Fibonacci is, and a lot of these people use this on the day trading basis and all that kind of crap. And the reason that those things do work for them is because they're all looking at the same things. And when they're all looking at the same things, they're all doing the same. It's kind of like a poker table, and the problem is when everybody's doing the right things and playing their hands the right way, poker goes around and around and around and around. And there's always some jackass that comes in that doesn't know how to play poker and screws the whole game up. And that's usually a guy that either, makes or breaks everybody's, games. And the same thing here in crypto. We do have all of this TA and everything, and everybody's trading on the same algorithms with each other and all. But then we get people come in and make ridiculous, stupid trades or ridiculous, stupid moves, or whales that do dumb things or do nefarious things or whatever. And it throws all that stuff off. And because of the volatility of this market, those tools are really useless. Like, it's gambling. It's the most riskiest thing to do in crypto. And I mean, it's worse odds than Vegas, to be honest, is to go and try and use TA to day trade in crypto. It's the worst thing to possibly do.
It's actually let me down more times because obviously I'm not good at it, but trying, it's let me down. The thing that's worked most for me is finding the right people who get it. And then, like you were saying earlier, surround myself with the right people so that I can lean on people like that really know their shit. So yeah, TA is difficult. I find reading people and surrounding myself with the right people, and then I take the right advice from people that I trust, right? But building that trust in that community is super hard in crypto.
Well, and here's the fact of the matter. Like, people who have survived and done well in the bear market are people that didn't even know TA or trading. They just invested with the right groups of people that made number go up on certain things. You can, if you're in a market sentiment move to the upside, you get raised with all of them, whether it was a ridiculous meme coin or bad technology. If it moves up, you moved up with everybody because it was a group of people that got in and brought more people in and got everybody interested in it. And unfortunately, that's the truth. It had nothing to do with the value of that crypto. It had nothing to do with the value of that JPEG or that technology. It had everything to do with how it was marketed, how big the group was that marketed it, and how they got into it. It's really, really it. It has nothing to do with knowing how to trade. It's I got in the right thing and I got in and got to exit and got out. Or I got in early and I held the value because it went beyond my value and retraced back down, still beyond my value. That's where people made the gains in these things. And it's the truth. It's the harsh truth. The technology has not won over. Like I said, Hex, I think, is the greatest DeFi technology that we've ever had handed to us, the most solid. And just because it is that, hasn't protected its price. It hasn't been protected. The people that have invested in it haven't been protected. And it's all about market sentiment and where it's all at right now.
How would you protect it? What would you do to protect it?
Well, those of us who've tried, it's just that it's getting in front of it and trying to be the community that grows and does the marketing for it and brings the value into it. Now, when a tide rolls out, you can't, swim yourself back to the shore. You're going out with the tide. There's not anything that we can do about that, and that's basically what happened here. And the community failed the crypto itself, Hex itself, by, turning in on itself, disappearing, stopping to promote. The founder is gone right now. He's here on a limited basis. When we were moving up, he was here. He was with us. He was talking. He was educating. And now that he's not here, I put it on us, on those of us who were basically his. He was our mentor in crypto, for not keeping the tenets up, for not teaching, for not getting stronger, for not being stronger. Now, would we still have had market woes? Yeah, we still would have. Would we be down this far? Probably not. Had we done things differently. But I blame the community and those of us who were in so-called leadership positions for not working hard enough, for not doing the thing to keep it up and running. I did what I could. Now, did I make mistakes? I probably did. Everything that I did didn't pan out, didn't help the ecosystem. I did everything I could. I made movies, I built businesses. I tried everything I could do to help push it up. I even traveled the world, for 2 years.
That's 1,000% more than most people in this space do, though, RG. And that's, lack of better terms, throwing shit at the wall is part of the process, man. So
it is, you and I both know that it's, and you fail forward, and I don't look at those as failures. I look at those as learning experiences. I learn as those as building character, those of building integrity, those of showing, what your worth is and trying to make things happen, and criticism be damned, for those of you who sat on your laurels or hid or pissed yourself in a corner, while I went out and did things.
You stick your neck out and then people point a finger and criticize, and it's like, well, I didn't see your neck out here with me. I didn't see you taking risk. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't like to use the word fail either, man. I think if you were to sit up here and say, oh yeah, I did this right the whole way, I'd call you a liar. The fact that you can get up and talk about the failures as the steps forward. Yeah. I mean, it's really the only way in this space is to fail a shitload of times for yourself. Take some personal responsibility, do your own research, try, fail, learn, move forward. Because anybody who says they're an expert in this space, it's probably lying. It's still so new that even the experts that have been here from the beginning are still learning every day, because things evolve and change so much. You can't possibly know and do everything right. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Commend you for doing all those things, because it's a hell of a lot more than a lot of people do. Chase
Well,
number and point fingers is not what, it's not what gets you ahead. It's like you said, throwing shit at the wall and failing. So
yeah. Yeah. Heximofo just said what I was going to say. Thomas Edison, failed over 1,000 times to make the light bulb, and had he given up, or had he taken, somebody's criticism to heart, then we wouldn't have had him invent the light bulb. He wouldn't have been the guy that did it.
if I stopped working every time my parents rolled their eyes at my hooky dook ideas, come on. I would have stopped a long time ago. They're always rolling their eyes at me like, oh, what now? What now? It's part of the path for sure.
Yeah. And that's what he said. He said, you finding ways that don't work to make a light bulb, then find the way that works, by finding things that don't work. And, we've done that. We've tried a lot here to make things of value, make things work. And there has been success. We have seen success, and, we did, create a movie that's out there forever, in the bull market. When people are looking for crypto movies, there'll be a movie about Hex out there, and, maybe we'll get more viewership on it and everything then, but at this point, DeFi is still gate kept. Richard ecosystem is still gate kept. I know there's other things out there that are working hard and trying to become DeFi protocols too, and some of them even exist outside of our echo chamber here. And it's going to have its time. It's going to have its day in the sun. It's just probably not right at this second. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of
still a bit of time left. We still got a while yet before we see any kind of significant run up. I don't think I was actually questioning something like, are we kind of already at the top? I just like to play devil's, or like poke holes in the boat. Like you're saying, like, I wonder sometimes, have we just climbed up here and this is where we are and it's going to be a slide back down? Like, you can't really take anything for granted because you don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of OTC trades going on in ETH right now. We saw what happened when the Bitcoin OTC trade started getting really, really hot. Bitcoin ended up going to 70K and then settling somewhere up in the 60s. And, we're seeing that now with Ethereum. There's a lot of OTC trades going on with Ethereum. And my guess is that we're going to see Ethereum run up. And then usually when Ethereum runs up, we see altcoins start to do real well. And, us all being tied to that, we may see some run up. Now, does PulseChain?
I'm excited. I've never been through a bull run before. This would be my first one. No. Yeah, I came in at the end of the last one. Peak, launched a product, tanked. Like days later, it tanked, and I was like, "Of course, that's my timing." So, yeah, no, I've actually only been here for the bull or for the bear. That's been my learning entrance, has been through the bear. So I'm excited.
Well, that's good entry place. Good entry place, because that changes things for you when the bull market does come and you do see it and you do experience it. And boy,
well, as a dev, it doesn't really matter where I enter. I don't really care, because I don't care about price. I'm just here to I build. So whatever the price is, I'm going to build anyway. It's kind of like gas in my car. I'm going to pay it anyway. I don't even look. I don't care what the price is.
Well, in the bull market, that's when people are going to look at your tech, because your tech is very, I mean, when it comes to a crypto tech that I think could get adoption and see a real interest, or even create onboarding itself, it's your product and what you've done and things that we've that you've shared with me about direction you want to go and all that. I mean, it's your product is that thing that could really change the game. And in a bull market, I think that it's going to see a lot more attention. It is going to start changing things. And it's going to be an exciting show. That's for sure.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm working hard. We got lots of things going for the next upgrade. If it works the way that I dream it and envision, I mean, the censorship resistance, the connectivity across, like, for me, I hate, as a developer, creative, I hate being locked into, I want to launch this collection, so I'm on this chain, the community's on this chain, I'm kind of stuck over here on this chain. But hey, look, there's some fun people over there. I want to go hang out with them too. But I don't want to have to split off another, yet I want to be able to mingle across chain. Like being maxied into one chain is not healthy. I don't want to be split in ways that it's technically difficult to communicate and exchange with different communities. So for me, the big thing with Tang Talk was like to start was the cross chain. But now if we get the calling to work the way I could. Oh God.
So
but yeah,
I'm gonna let me grab something in the chat here. But there. People are asking about what your product is. So I want to let you.
Oh, we don't know. We don't need to do that, dude. I don't want to take.
No, I want you to just tell. Look, you're a real dev, and you're really doing something. And you're not here shilling what you're doing. You're just I know why you're here.
Well, you've met me. We've hung out in person. I'm just literally a nerd. I just like nerding, and so Tang Talk kind of came naturally and organically. It wasn't like a push to make revenue. It just kind of happened.
Yeah. Let me read this real quick. So Bitfinesse says, and what's up, Bitfinesse? So Bitfinesse is our trucker that trucks around the world or around the United States, and he listens in and chimes in, but he's always on the road. So the supply of new hex coins go to those who lock the most for the longest. Rewards based on commitment. No other coin does that. That's the only narrative that matters. In the crypto investment space, I believe that is true, Bitfinesse. I think as far as a tool that has product market fit in the finance world, that's what Hex is. It is the only thing that matters at this point as far as a base.
So your APR or APY goes up the longer you stake? Is that what it is?
Your position gets larger. So your amount of the pie is larger the longer and the more that you stake. And you're still gathering the same APY.
Does it auto compound it for you?
It does compound it. It's auto compound based on the time length that's in there. So every day the EVM is keeping track of how long your stake is there, how much of it's there, and it does it by a T-share. So the T-share is, so you put your Hex coins into the system. Because of the amount and how long, you get a bonus of Hex for that. And you're issued T-shares, the price of the T-share that day. So your Hex is burned and you're given a T-share and a marker of time that you put it out there for. Now that's between you and the contract, not between you and a centralized exchange.
You said you burn the Hex. So when you must exchange the T-share later for.
Yeah. So when the T-share comes to value, just like a certificate of deposit, a CD, that's when you get to draw it and all the APY.
Gotcha.
And that APY is paid to you on top of any early end stake penalties that other users have created. So every day the EVM goes, okay, who emergency ended their Hex stake, which is like a CD, right? A certificate of deposit.
Oh, and the penalties go to the community.
So the penalties go to the community also. So you become the bank, and so you have a decentralized CD on the blockchain that's creating more Hex, basically like you've just created a miner, right? For a certain amount of time. And when that T-share comes to maturity, you pull it out and you get all those coins that you've gathered on every day of emergency end stake penalties. So the EVM calculates
equal amount to what was burned too, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Whatever you burned,
you get your
back
principal
plus
your interest. So it's brand new, fresh coins that are minted because the other ones were burned. So it's a deflationary.
Why burn them? What's the point of burning them if you're getting them back and they're being recreated?
Because it turns them into a T-share, and the T-share has value. So the value of the T-share. So this is what's really cool. So why not just make an NFT and exchange the value back and forth?
It just seems like you end up with a net zero, like gain on your, like it doesn't. I don't understand why you would burn your principal and only to get it back as a different coin. Check
this out. It's the same coin. So what happens is you create a T-share. You buy a T-share with your Hex that you put in, right? So you buy it off the market. Now, when you ROI, so how do you make it so that the 15-year staker beats the guy that's only staking for a month? You can't just have an APY, because the guy that's staking every month to month, he gets to cash out when the market's hot, and he's going to beat the shit out of the guy that's a 15-year staker. And we discovered that early on. And a dev went to work and he came up with the most brilliant system, bro, called the T-share. Now check this out. The T-share has a price today. And that price is based on the highest ROI that was just unstaked. The person that unstakes, like say they put 100 hex out for a year, you cannot put 100 hex out for another year and get the same amount of T-shares. The value of the T-share goes up every time somebody, no matter who it is, how small or how big their stake, it makes the price of the T-share always going up. So it always costs you more T-shares to make that same stake in the future when you ROI. It's always getting harder and harder to get those T-shares. So the T-share value is moving up, therefore bringing the value of the crypto itself up. Now, market sentiment changes all that, of course, dollar for crypto value, but it doesn't change the price of the T-share versus the hex. It's always going up. It's always getting higher. Now, with staking stagnating, that price isn't moving as fast. The more stakes, the more ROIs, the higher and faster that price goes. So we saw a compounding effect early days while people were jeeting in, aping in, getting into hex and putting lots of stakes out there, and the big payday stakes and all the stuff that came out. And all of that just kept multiplying the value of the T-share and the value of the hex itself. And the bull market just pushed it like crazy, to the moon, but it's still growing in price per hex. So T-shares are, let's see if maybe if Melv Tony could put the price of the
T-share. Are you saying the T-share only goes up when somebody ends their stake? And then,
when anybody ROIs higher than the last ROI. So every time the ROI, it gets harder and harder to get that T-share. So that T-share just becomes more and more expensive every time that the calculations on the ROI are done.
So the T-share is more expensive when you burn your hex to get the T-share. So you're burning more hex to get the T-share
for the next time. Yes. Okay. And when you do pull out, of course, you get your principal and what was paid in interest on top.
Okay.
Yeah. And it is the secret sauce in hex. Charlie disagrees. He said the T-share is the worst thing about hex, in my opinion. Well, I don't think so. I think the T-share is what makes it brilliant. It's kind of a reverse compounding effect on interest is what it is. And it's really brilliant. It makes it to where you can't front run short stakes for longer stakes. Always longer and bigger and longer pays better than short staking. However, market dollar for hex wise can change that in an instant, like we see.
But what about the value of being able to just be liquid versus locked for 15 years?
That's the other thing. Now, liquid, you're being diluted, by the stakers. The stakers are creating inflation. So if you're a holder, the inflation is being created by the stakers, and they're the ones taking more hex out of the system than you are just by holding. You hold 100 hex, somebody has a 10-year stake with 100 hex, he's going to end up, if you just hold for 10 years and he's staked for 10 years, he beats you in the end. So, that's the risk reward there. That's the give and take there.
I got a little hex, but it's just sitting there. It's not doing anything. So maybe when we're in Italy, sit down on the boat, kick your feet up, and we can have a talk about hex. Because Brad and I were talking about, Brad and I like to be invested in the communities we hang out with. I invest in people. I know shit all about trading. I'm not that great at tokenomics. I know how to build really cool shit. So I surround myself with people that are knowledgeable, and that's kind of, anyway, we'll figure it out, because I got a little bit of hex, and I'm liking what you're saying. I'm getting it a little more. I'm honestly, too busy to do too heavy a research, but I love these chats with you, because you kind of give me new perspectives, and as a dev, I'm always naturally really curious. So this is cool. Yeah.
Real quick, because there's some people who don't know what your product is. Just give everybody a quick elevator speech of what your technology is doing, what you're trying to do on the blockchain. And, and I know, you're not a Hexican, you're not a PulseChain, you're not a Chia guy, you're not a anything. You're like into your tech. You're trying to build something cool on the internet. That's your forte. That's what you do. You're not a maxi of anything, and you want to create value for the whole crypto space. So in that spirit, go ahead and just tell everybody, what you've made and some of its possibilities, capabilities, and what you're trying to achieve here, just so people know what it is.
Okay. Well, just briefly, I come from Web 2, and I got a long, 25-year career as a senior dev. I came to Web 3, and Tang Talk came about just because I like to play and build. But really what it is a spin-off of my Drac game. We needed a real-time system for some gaming stuff. And one day I was kind of sitting there, I was like, I could use this for communications cross-chain. So what we ended up with was an NFT that kind of resembles a phone. And it's decentralized on data layer, and it's this progressive web app that is your NFT, and it communicates cross-chain in real time. It's chain agnostic, I guess you would say. And so we ended up with this kind of really cool phone telecom NFT that allows us to, right now you can chat with your Chia buddies over from PulseChain, and we can so it really is a telecommunications protocol inside an NFT in a way. It's an L2 that we built that has a consensus mechanism. It uses your browser cache. It's some cool tech in there, but basically Tang Talk's an NFT that lets you talk to your friends, and it's got apps and it's got music players, and it's kind of like this really cool little interactive NFT. So it goes outside the norms of, picture rarities, traits, chase and number go up. As I've said, I don't really care. So it's really just this project that came from being curious about how can I bridge communities? How can I make Web3 a little easier? And so, yeah, we have this really cool little phone. It's fun, and we got some extra stuff coming soon. But yeah, it's kind of an interactive NFT, really, is what it is.
Yeah. And comms, what a better way to join communities or, than through comms, right? And then what product has more market fit than anything other than a freaking cell phone, right? I mean,
when it came to me, it was like, oh, cell phone. It was like this, because it's so familiar. And we're working on SIM cards, we're working on minutes tokens. It's just so familiar. And like we've talked about, great for onboarding because it takes away the scariness of all of the, go to this site, go to that, connect here. It's just, it's meant to be this comforting, oh, okay, it's a phone. I'm going to get my info here. I'm going to connect here, and all within. So yeah, it kind of started as an experiment. I mean, you've heard the story. I was in my pajamas, feet up on the desk, kind of had a eureka moment, threw it out, showed some people, and everybody got it. And then it flew from there. So it was really, it came unexpectedly. So even working on it now, there's new stuff coming that I didn't even envision. That's like, oh shit, yeah, we can do that now. So it really is this cool evolving project, although serious in some ways. It's really kind of my art project too, I'm a creative coder. I like to play, I like to poke, I like to try. And so it's this ongoing development thing that's kind of got some legs now, and we've got some cool features coming. So yeah, it's basically an NFT phone.
Basically an NFT phone. I mean,
yeah.
Well, not exciting at all.
Yeah.
A decentralized NFT phone.
Yeah, and then censorship resistant is really what I'm after, because I'm a big fan of fighting back against some of the censorship issues that we have, and I really, that's kind of my little jab at the man and at the system in my work is like, okay, well, I'm going to tackle this because this is bullshit that people get filtered and censored, and you should be able to. So the L2 that we have, you can't really stop it. It's really cool how we did it. So it's got a really strong roots in censorship resistant content, which is kind of a focus on what we're building with it. So
nice. I'm excited. I'm excited to see and to see somebody like you in it. One of the things I try and teach people around here is that personal interaction and understanding of each other, and really meeting face to face with people helps develop community and trust and support in the right way versus this 2D world that we all live in, the streaming world, this, chat room world, this Twitter meme each other world, meeting people in person, getting to know them, seeing what they're all about, knowing who had their personalities.
Oh man, it makes a huge difference.
Things. Yeah. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And, and you and I have met on a couple occasions already and worked together and, done our presentations together. You coming on the PulseChain tour a couple times and then coming with us to Italy. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and know who you are and what you're all about and what you're trying to do, and like people, it's like the things you don't see online are like, when you're sitting with somebody, you're having a serious meeting, you're meeting with them, and then their kid calls and you see the picture of their kid on the phone and they're playing with their dad. And then he's talking to him and he's just like everyone else. And, his voice changes and he turns into that dad mode. And that changes your relationship with people, and
yeah, you get to really know the person.
You get to really know who they are. You get to put that trust in them. You get to understand where they're really coming from, what they're really working for, what they're trying to create, what they're trying to, I mean, if I was sitting there with a guy and he had a couple of hookers pull up in a Lamborghini with him and he said, "Hey, I got to go, guys. I'll be back in a little bit."
That's your best friend.
Right? So I wouldn't be hanging out with Drac on the tours anymore.
God. Anyway, I won't talk about what happened to Vegas on your advice. Thank you very much. I'll leave that story.
Yeah, we don't talk about it.
But no, dude, I'm glad that you see it. I appreciate that you say it because I had a bad entry into the space. I tried trading. I lost $7,000 in a weekend. My wife was pissed. I didn't know what I was doing. Margin, the whole thing. It was horrible. Then I came back to the space and was like, well, I'll try NFTs. And I bought one of the Logan Paul, whatever, the Crypto Zoo, whatever. And it was a piece of shit. And I looked at it and I was like, are you serious? This is what, this is what this is. And then I bought another NFT and I got rugged. And this is insane. So my motive when I came in to what you were saying was literally, I'm going to go in, screw the scams, screw I really wanted to just go in and take up so much space ethically that it pushes the shit out. Right. And that's kind of been the driver for Brad and I was every step, no matter what, is a moral step. It's an ethical step. It's people first. So to what you were saying, when we met and I got to see you and how you treat the people around you and the body language beyond just the voice in the computer, it's same thing. Brad and I were like, okay, these are authentic people, and you build that trust. And that's the hardest part of crypto for me as a dev was knowing who to trust. And I had to learn the hard way, trust no one first. And then the people that I see face to face, those are the people that I try to build relationships with and stuff. So yeah, the authenticity and the real person that you meet in IRL it makes a big difference. It was really nice to hang out with you guys in Vegas and in Utah.
Yeah, it was good. It was real good.
I'm a little nervous to bring my parents on this cruise. My parents.
Oh, they're going to be fine.
Oh God.
The cruise is like a mixture of, a bunch of good and family and a little debauchery in late evenings. It's a good mix of the whole thing and on the cruises. Vegas
had a mouth like
a whole other story. Yeah, but the cruises are really good, good family stuff, and then later on you can participate or not participate in debauchery afterwards. Yeah. Real quick, just to show you, Mel, do you have the starting T-share rate? It was under, what was it? Remember, it was like 2,000 hex per T-share, but was way down there. And it was way below that, I think. But right now, hex per T-share is 34,524 hex per T-share, and it started out, way back. So that's like $13.30 in dollars per T-share. We were buying T-shares for 60 cents back in the day, and cheaper. Oh wow! That. So that's the value of the T-share. The value of the T-share going up. Those who are holds. So Charlie, just to let you know, bro, if you're holding T-shares, that's where the real value is. It'd be good for you to understand what that is all about, really. Yeah. So
anyway, the T-share is nothing more than your staking token. It's just
yeah. It's basically kind of like an LP token, when you create LP. It's a little more than that because it isn't that technology. It's a marker in time, basically. And that T-share is calculating or gives the EVM the ability to calculate your position in time, how much you had there and how much early end stake penalties you're receiving. So that's what happens. You know, you have that S load at the end where the EVM, figures out your stake and pays you out your principal plus your return, interest and penalties. And, then that's the hex that you cash out. And then the T-share is burned and then the ROI changes or the value of the T-share goes up.
As long as the ROI is higher than the last one. Didn't you say something like that?
Well, no, it's the price of the T-shares going up based on ROI of stakes coming out. The highest attaining ROIs are pushing the price of the T-share out.
Yeah. I'm still learning it. It's sitting in my head like an LP. We talked about the LP of minutes token the other day. It's still sitting I'm relating it there just so I'm hanging with you. But I mean, it just seems like an exchange for holding and then just using time as a variable in its equation and you're getting paid out for it. Swap. That makes sense.
Yeah. So hexfire.io, I believe it is where you can see the data that you can see the value of the T-share. And that's one of our community members that created that. And it's really cool tool.
What is the ROI volume like on a daily basis? Just out of curiosity, like how often is that T-share pushing up?
Like I said, you could watch the chart over there. I don't watch the chart. I'll look at the value of every once in a while. And I mean, looking at how high it is right now at 34,000 hex per T-share. I mean, it's just gone astronomically through the roof, which is what we all predicted. Like we were saying, hey man, this T-share thing is going to keep going up and up and up. And we're going to keep getting more and more we're going to get more and more hex per T-share per day as time goes on. Like when we started out very, very low from like in 2 hex per T-share. And then now we're running up to like 7 hex per T-share per day. So it's moving up pretty.
Yeah. I'm seeing
pretty well.
Payout shares 7 currently.
Yeah.
I should watch Crispy from Hexfire. He has all
Crispy is the one who created Hexfire, and he's got a tracker, and he is like the T-share guru.
Okay.
I mean, I understand and know the T-share. I get joked on about T-share. Like the joke is, hey, ask the captain about the T-shares. And because it was like for the longest time, I was the guy that couldn't figure it out, and I literally had the Hex dev who created the T-share come on the show, Dev Kyle. So you can go look at my early episodes, and I'm there questioning him about the T-share and what does it mean? Because I knew it was important, and I knew it had a lot to do with the system and what was going on, but I didn't understand completely how it works. Now I know how it works and understand it, and it's really the secret sauce in Hex. It's what makes Hex more valuable than just being, because if Hex was just Hex and it didn't do that, if it didn't have the T-share and staking ability, it would just be a meme coin.
What is the guarantee? How do you get a guarantee that the T-share goes up? Just because of the way that
because the system ROI, as soon as you unstake that T-share and burn it and get the Hex, the system ratchets up. It goes, nope, their T-shares are this much more because this guy can't get the same stake and pay the same amount of Hex per T-share. So it's going to go up. And as it goes up.
So I'm confused. Hold on.
So the T-share is that carrot.
My moodness, but like when I think about tokens or say stocks or anything going up and down, price, supply, demand, usually driven, right? In some sort, like
T-shares not.
These T-shares always go up. It sounds to me like they're just arbitrarily assigning a new value.
No, it's mathematics, the mathematical equation of the ROI. So the EVM goes, okay, you had this much Hex staked for this long and you retained this much ROI. Now, in order for you to get that same stake, it's going to cost you more than it did. And that means that it ratchets up the value of the T-share mathematically so that you can't win on the system.
what mechanism drives it up other than like, does it just assign T-shares are now
Mathematics.
this price? T-shares are now this price.
Yep.
Is
It's
that that's
mathematics.
all it is?
Yep.
Okay, so
That's
it's
all it is.
not anything to do with like like the actual like
No
the
dollar value of the
yeah,
t-shirt.
like it has nothing to do with the actual buying and trading and the volumes and the market caps and all. It has nothing to, it's just arbitrarily, here's the math, this ROI'd out, push this up every time.
Yep.
So
So the t-share is an automatic moving target through the mathematics of the EVM, pulling the hex stakes out, reminting, and burning the t-shares. And then it goes, okay, this is the price now. And it just ratchets up. Now, the exact mechanism and the dev work and talk about how that works, I don't know. I couldn't tell.
yeah, that's fair.
But I know that that's the mechanism is automated. It's not somebody creates a price or the market creates a price. It's the
Yeah.
mathematics that the EVM works out based on the ROI of the individuals coming that bringing their stakes out. And you know, that's all I need to really know about how it works.
You're already
You know,
lost me, dude.
I'm a race car driver, not a race car mechanic. You know,
Yeah.
I get in the car and I ride it around the track and I go fast. And I don't need to know how the
Yeah.
timing was set or
Yeah.
what the compression is on each cylinder, none of that stuff.
Yeah,
So
no, I get you, man. People always assume because I'm a dev that I get markets and charts, and it's like, no, I don't. I know how to build anything. Financials, blah, dummy. But this is good, man. I enjoy these chats with you. When we were chilling in the hotel in Utah, I learned a lot just in the 10 minutes that we're sitting
yeah, me
together.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to learn more from you. So
Man,
yeah,
I
man.
can't wait. Yeah, yeah.
Feel free to
what?
come on anytime.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'll just chill for a minute and mute up and let you fucking talk to your crowd. Oh, I should watch my language. Let you talk to your crowd, man, and I'll
Yeah, you're
mute
good.
up.
You want to just sit here? I'll set you in the green room. If you want to come in, just raise your hand. I'll put you in the green room. So you don't have to
no
sit.
worries.
That's Drac from Tang Talk. He's it's great creating a great technology as far as I'm concerned. Product market fit, a cell phone, decentralized cell phone system in the on the blockchain. Got a lot of potential there. A lot of potential. I'm hoping for him to do well. So let me pull this one up here. Inflation rate. Hex inflation rate is supposed to mimic the dollar inflation rate. The theory behind it would fuel its value. However, the dollar has use cases while Hex does not. Need more Hex currency use cases. Well, I think crypto use cases as far as a currency, we're a long way from that. Now, cryptocurrency as a value storage or as a wealth creation tool, i.e., the CD with inflation that is given to the stakers, with penalties that are given to the stakers, that has product market fit, and that is valuable. Definitely on a long-term savings account too, the 15-year stakes, which I get accused of not talking about enough, and called all kinds of cool things like what Great Lakes says here. P grift, grifter, and P grifter. Sorry you don't understand crypto, bro, but maybe go check them out before you call things a grift. You know, I don't think you know what you're talking about, but that's okay. You'll learn. Stick around here and you'll learn. You'll teach you. Or don't pay attention to what's going on here. That's probably what you should do, because I think that's what you've been doing. Check out Soil. They just launched their minting and it has a lot of perks. Okay. Yeah, we talked to the Soil guys here, and they're out there hanging with the with PulseChain Tour, because they are building on PulseChain. And Great Lakes doesn't like the fact that people are building on PulseChain. So shh, only talk about Hex here, Richard, because you're disrespecting Richard if you don't. A T-share prevents someone from staking for 1 day, earning yield, and then staking that for 1 day and compounding until the system breaks or cave in on itself. I don't see it. Okay, T-shirt prevents someone. And then taking for that. Yes. Gotcha. Okay. Yes. That's what the T-share prevents. Yes. It prevents it from falling in on itself and from others. Well, basically others gaining on long-term stakers is what creates that issue. Yes. Always love T-share talk. Yeah. It creates a constant sell pressure because the guy before you was able to sell his yield, buy more. Right? It creates constant sell pressure because the guy before you was able to sell his yield, buy more hex because it was cheaper. Stakesing. No, bro, you're not getting it. You're not getting. You were born in a bad market is the problem. You don't understand what happens when things are going the opposite direction, when markets are moving up instead of down. Look at the math. The stakers have more hex in their wallet than the holders. The T-shares that those people own that bought earlier than the T-shares that are being bought today have more value for less hex that they spent for them. Now, the market has changed the dollar value. That is all. Hex stakers are still beating hex holders because of how much hex they're making and how high the T-share price is going up and how much harder and it is to stake more than that person's hex. That's all. That's all. He's in the same position as you. Okay, I don't understand. Let's see. The math wins. Yes, the math always wins. If you guys look, not the math guy, definitely not. But I know it works, and I know people who have taught me how it works. And also the T-shares and hex futures just mentioned. Good to see hex futures. Shares become more rare while the token inflation stays steady. You get that? The inflation, which is 3.69% per year, is steadied by the T-share. And the T-share becomes rarer and rarer and rarer as time goes on. It's a really bitchin' system once you really look at it. When you really look at Hex, it's a brilliant, brilliant DeFi system. Very, very well built. The leaks were taken out. Now, is it not privy to market volatility and ups and downs? We, in the beginning, thought that it was going to be a market hedge. We did. We thought that it was. Now, did we go around telling people it was definitely going to be a market hedge? No, but we were pretty confident it was going to be. We were pretty confident. And boy, were we wrong. I'll admit it. We thought it was going to be a market hedge, but obviously markets are controlled by much more than just math, by much more, but I'm not going to take anything back. I'll change my point of view. I'll admit when I was wrong, but I'm not going to take anything back and go piss myself in a corner like some of you want me to. That's not going to happen. And I'm not going to shy away from other people building things. I'm not going to shy away from building things myself because Richard gave us a freaking L1 to build on. Nope, not going to do that either. So whatever. T-shares have nothing to do with dollar price, just the number of the hex per T-share. Exactly. Nothing to do with dollar price. Zero. But you will have more hex for having T-shares. The mass is not valued currently. The price reflects that. Right. 100%, Jofus. However, I'm still buying more hex because of its community and thin liquidity, not the T-share. Good on you. Good on you. Everybody's got to do their thing and understand their risk tolerance and their investment strategies and whatnot. Swearwork says, you can convert T-shares to a price, but it's based on hex. Yes, it's based on hex. It's based on the hex price, and the hex price market price is down. T-shares were like, they were freaking a lot of money at one time. I think a few $1,000s, and now they're $13. So the T-share has never been cheaper. The T-share has never been cheaper. And when they go up, they go up. They go up. And price for entry as hex moves in the up position, your staker, your miner is going to take a lot more. Let's see. That's why I have a ladder, Charlie. Yeah, staking ladders are important. We talked about them early on. When Richard Hart first said CD, I went and did a lot of research on CDs, and I saw the strategy, and I started talking about that strategy to people, building ladders. And that's when, we all started building staking ladders, was because that's a traditional CD, type of tool. And, we talked about that in the beginning. We used it as just like a traditional CD tool. We staked ladders and learned how to rotate those so you can have continuous income coming in. So the ladder is an important part of, your value in Hex. If you're trying to get more and more value out of Hex, imagine just you create this little miner that just makes more Hex all the time. And then it comes out. Well, why don't you just keep throwing it back behind all the other stakes that you've made? So or take a portion of it, keep a liquid bag, and then, build a staking ladder and keep rolling it out. Let's see. Yeah, based on that, that's where you have any always something coming out with a ladder. Always something coming out with a ladder. April 28th, huge payout penalties, 9.839 payout per T-share. Yep, very cool. We have a lot of big payout days, So anyway, everybody, thanks for coming. We didn't have a bunch of people show up today. I don't know if Drac, unmute if you want to come back in and say anything before you bell. If not, I'm getting ready to close up. Yep. Okay, I'll bring you back up.
Thanks.
There you are.
Important to say other than thanks, and thanks for the lesson. Appreciate it.
Right on. All right, my man. Well, thanks for coming. Can't wait. I'm sure we'll talk before, but can't wait to see you out there in Europe. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be a really good time. I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be a great
love
time.
what you do, man. Keep it up, bro. You're doing great.
Right,
I love it.
Same here. Have a good one, man.
I'll see you later, dude.
See you. All right, everybody. One last one here. Brown conservative capitalist. RG3, always remember your greatest attractor will always come from below, never above. Continue doing what you do, brother. Don't let the haters distract you. I like that statement. And, when it comes down to it, I don't hold anybody below me, but I understand what you're saying there. And thank you for that. I don't think I'm above anybody. I try and act and react above, others, or not others, but above myself as often as possible, because all I have is my integrity when it comes down to it. That's it. Once you lose that, once you lose your trust and everything, trust is not easily regained. You can make a mistake. People can make mistakes. And if you own up to it, or you admit that you made a mistake, that's one thing. You can own up to shortcomings. You can have shortcomings. But if you continue to do the right things, if you continue to, get back up after you fail, or get back up after you've made a mistake, not everybody's going to continue to trust you or whatever. But if you do the right things, then you'll recover from that, and you will have learned from that, and you'll be the better for that. It's all part of building character, folks. It's not about how many times you win. That's definitely not it. And I hear a lot of people out there screaming, win, win, win. All I do is win, 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 win. You want to win, win, win. Come hang out with me and win, win, win. Yeah, no, that's not what it's about. It's how many times have you lost or failed and got back up and tried to win? This whole culture of always having to win, hanging with the winner, the guy who won, or appears that he's won, or talks real good like he won. Really, it's the guys who aren't saying a whole bunch, that failed a bunch of times, that are the ones who win, that really matter. Not all you loud motherfuckers who get a win under your belt think it was you when it was luck. Fuck that. I don't even want that. I don't care how many times you do win in that scenario. I'd rather be the guy that built character, built integrity, did things and failed, got back up, proved who he was. It's not about how many times you get knocked down, it's about how many times you get up, right? So anyway, with that, I appreciate all of you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. We will catch up with you guys on Monday. Actually, now that the producer is going to be gone, I'll be putting, actually, she said she's going to be still working and doing things. But we will definitely have more streams, information, and things coming on next week. We're getting real excited about stuff. PulseChain Tour websites been revamped. I don't know if you guys checked that out, but we got that going. A lot of cool stuff happening in the background. Growing, folks. We're growing. And don't forget PulseChainTour.com with the London tour or the London party. You guys got to be at that. That's going to be fun if you're out there. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Appreciate you. And we'll catch you next week.